Time is supposed to flow in one direction, but what if that's just a lie? From futuristic people appearing in the past?
If I say that I have come from the future, what is the reason for my being here? The company I worked for was developing medical technology and conducting experiments.
To those arriving from the future with warnings that are unfolding before our eyes.
Are Orin, a collective conscious, and Cyborg, sent by a higher civilization to warn humans of the incoming apocalypse.
The idea of time travel no longer seems like just a fantasy. Are these mere coincidences or glimpses of a fractured timeline?
A Missouri worker set out to make a time machine on his back porch. The contraption he came up with was not completely off the mark, according to scientists.
Back in 1995, Mike Markham from Missouri stirred things up when he claimed he had built a time machine right in his house. Using an electrical Jacob's ladder and a CD laser, he put together this wild device that created a crazy heat vortex that could make things disappear and reappear. Riding the high of his success, he decided to push the limits and tried to make it work for human time travel too. By 1997, he had a bigger version of his machine up and running, but it required a ton of power from the local grid. When the authorities eventually checked out his place, Markham had vanished without a trace. Then, connections popped up, linking him to a body found on a Florida beach from the 1930s, adding yet another twist to the mystery.
Right.
I don't need basically a black hole to do this.
Futuristic vision.
I say that I have come from the future, what is the reason for my being here? The company I worked for was developing medical technology and conducting experiments. At the end of 2027, I left LabGeo and
In 2022, a mysterious girl blew up online with a tale straight out of a sci-fi flick, claiming she was born in 2006, yet truly hails from the future. She detailed working for LabGeo in 2028, a company at the forefront of major medical breakthroughs. When things took a dark turn, she supposedly escaped using a prototype time machine. To back her claims, she even flashed newspapers from 2027, boasting headlines like Mars colonization and revolutionary tech. The video ignited a firestorm of controversy, leaving people split between believing it was an elaborate stunt or a genuine peek into what lies ahead. Either way, the future might be closer than we think.
because I stole a lot of ideas from LabGeo. Yes. You maybe guessed that it was me who created those kidneys before LabGeo. I copied all those developments and I stole it. I knew that I will be found guilty and will spend most of my life in prison.
Chronobuzz.
You may notice that the actual picture itself is a little distorted. That is because in the time travel process, pictures tend to get distorted.
Back in 2018, an enigmatic fellow set the internet abuzz by claiming he journeyed on a top-secret military mission all the way to the year 6000. He described a future where technology defies our wildest dreams, even sharing a striking photo of a futuristic cityscape pulsing with advanced innovations. According to him, time travel was as routine in 6000 as catching a bus is today, and he boldly predicted that similar tech breakthroughs would roll out in our lifetime. His story left many scratching their heads. Was it a visionary peek into our potential future, or just a hyped-up tall tale? As the years pass, only time will tell. Chip confession.
Of course, it is clear that the chip inserted in me would not work in 2018.
A guy popped up claiming he was from the year 2030, and his story was completely wild. He said that in the future, everyone's gonna have a chip implanted that makes them super smart and super connected.
Do you know what that chip was used for? If I say that it was used for everything, it probably will be true.
The craziest part? He claimed he actually time traveled back to 2018 and brought this golden chip with him, the exact one they'd use in the future. Naturally, the internet went nuts over it. Some thought he was just pulling a fast one, saying it was all fake, while others were convinced he might really be from the future, especially with all the buzz around Elon Musk's Neuralink projects. Whether it's just a stunt or not, one thing's for sure. If he's right, the future is gonna be something else.
Way it is covered with real gold from the inside, which enhances the transmission of signals.
Temporal reflection.
Det ser ut i alla fall så
blir det ljust och kunde ställa mig.
In 2006, Swedish fellow Hawen Nordqvist experienced something out of a sci-fi flick. After returning home to a flooded kitchen, he was busy fixing the mess when he reached under the sink, only to find himself in a completely different time and place. There, he locked eyes with his future self, unmistakable with the very same tattoo on his arm. He even recorded a video on his phone as evidence of his uncanny encounter. It seems like a solid case of time travel, though some people still think the video could have been edited.
Så det var precis massa vatten på golvet där då.
Digital prophecy.
Warren, a collective conscious, and Cyborg, sent by a higher civilization to warn humans of the incoming apocalypse.
In 2020, a guy named Oren emerged online spinning a tale that felt ripped from the pages of a futuristic thriller. He claimed to be a cyborg from 2050, transformed by a high-tech chip for advanced communication, and said he had time travel to witness an AI-driven apocalypse. Oren warned that higher powers had sent him back with a dire message, urging us to unite against an ominous threat known only as the Corporation. While many dismissed his account as wild fabrication, his story left a chill in the air and sparked endless debate. Could his warnings be a genuine glimpse into a dark future, or is it just another urban legend?
Yes, we have time traveled, that is true. We went to the future, to 2050, and we saw the apocalypse.
Digital Oracle.
Getting into the story, let me first say that the world will change drastically very soon.
Meet Carlos from Alicante, Spain. No ordinary dude, but a self-proclaimed time traveler from 2014 with a story that bends the mind. He rapped about a future ruled by cryptocurrency.
But do not rush to invest all your money into cryptocurrency, because the future crypto is not yet available.
Predicting a system where coin salary becomes the norm. According to him, by 2028, we'd see a seismic shift in how money works, and by 2029, QR codes would replace our old-school IDs. Claiming he sold his future crypto for cash before zipping back to 2016, his tale leaves a curious vibe hanging in the air. Was Carlos spinning a wild fantasy, or dropping hints of what's yet to come? The truth might just be waiting in the wings.
For example, you will get Bitcoin to buy food.
Sergio Ponomarenko. In 2006, a man named Sergey appeared in Kiev, Ukraine, claiming he was from 1958, complete with a quirky ID card and some seriously odd photos. His snapshots, dating back decades, showed him dressed exactly as he was when he first arrived, blending past and present in a way that defies logic. Some folks whispered about aliens or time dilation, while others argued it was something far more mysterious. Then, as if by magic, Serge disappeared from a locked hospital room, leaving behind only puzzling old photos and baffled authorities. To make it even weirder, police records later revealed a missing Sergey from 1960 re-emerging in 2006. Coincidence? I don't think so. Future tale from 8973.
You an actual time traveler who has visited the future?
Yes, I am.
Back in 2018, William Tyler made a wild claim. He said he traveled through time to crazy places like the messed up year 3000 and the far out 8973. In a captivating interview, complete with a lie detector test, he shared stories about meeting ultra-evolved beings with mind-reading powers and futuristic gadgets. While 3000 was all about pollution and decay,
The sky was completely red. There was pollution everywhere.
8973 was full of incredible, almost magical advancements. Tyler even suggested that by 2028, we might all have access to time travel technology, leading to some buzz about AI advancements. Was this all just a fantasy he made up, or could it hint at a possible future? It's definitely something to think about.
Was there anything bad in the future?
No.
Time machine. Back in 2009, a bizarre video showed up online that had everyone totally puzzled. It looked like some kind of time machine or maybe a portal to another dimension. The footage featured this weird, round contraption all decked out in lights, giving off serious sci-fi vibes. As the person behind the camera got closer, the machine went a bit crazy, and out of nowhere, a portal popped up. Then the video started glitching out, probably because of the high frequency, and we never found out what happened next. Some folks believe the camera person got pulled into another dimension, while others think it was just a clever setup. Whether it's real or not, it's one of those mysteries that makes you wonder what else is out there. Time traveler? In 1950, an incident in Times Square still stokes whispers of the bizarre. A man named Rudolph, decked out in old-fashioned attire, appeared in the midst of the city chaos and ended up in an inexplicable accident. When the cops inspected his belongings, they uncovered a series of oddities: a token for a 5-cent beer from an unknown bar, a bill for horse care, and antique banknotes totaling $70, all strangely pristine. The mystery deepened when connections emerged to a missing person whose father vanished in 1876. While some shrug it off as an elaborate tall tale, others suspect that Rudolf Fens might have been a time traveler. Or something even stranger. Chase. While strolling down an ordinary street, a young boy suddenly froze, glancing over his shoulder as though he had seen something eerie. In that instant, a bright flashlight beam flashed on the screen, and in a blink, the boy vanished into thin air, leaving everyone in shock. The bizarre clip sent the internet into a frenzy, with viewers debating whether it was just slick editing or something far more mysterious. Some even suggested that the kid might be a time traveler, leaping across dimensions to escape unseen dangers. The strange disappearance leaves us all wondering. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Mirror illusion.
Look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror seemed the same.
At a quiet stoplight, a man noticed something very odd in his rearview mirror. The reflection of the car ahead's driver appeared unnervingly still, while his face moved naturally. Curious and a bit spooked, he zoomed in to capture the strange anomaly. When the video hit the internet, it sparked heated debates among viewers. Some shrugged it off as clever editing, while others whispered that it might be proof we are living in a simulated reality. Whatever the case, it was a reminder that sometimes reality might be stranger than fiction. Mystery of Taured. Back in the 1950s at Tokyo's Hana Airport, a sharply dressed man with a passport from a mysterious land called Taured stunned everyone. With all the proper documents in hand, he appeared completely legitimate, yet no one had ever heard of his home country. The authorities, puzzled by his origins, detained him in a hotel room for questioning. But come the next day, he'd vanished without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions. Some skeptics claim it was a bizarre case of mistaken identity, while others whisper that he might have been an interdimensional traveler or a time traveler slipping between realities. The mystery of Taured continues to baffle and intrigue. Retro riddle. During the premiere of Charlie Chaplin's The Circus in 1928, something strange caught everyone's eye. A guy in the crowd was holding what looked like a modern cell phone. Even though those didn't exist back then, people were totally baffled, which sparked a bunch of wild theories online. Some think it was a time travel glitch or a peek into the future, while others say it was just an optical illusion. Over the years, debates have raged on about whether this weird sighting is proof of time travel or just a trick of the light. The mystery still hangs around, making us wonder what secrets time might be hiding. Dimensional pup? On a busy highway, something pretty wild happened when a dog just appeared out of nowhere, crossing the road like it was no big deal. A bunch of young drivers, totally taken by surprise, pulled out their phones and started recording. The whole thing blew up online, with some people claiming the pup must have teleported from another dimension. Others weren't buying it and said it was probably just a camera glitch or some smart editing. But experts who looked at the footage said it was the real deal. This whole situation makes you wonder if there are secret portals out there, and if our understanding of time and space is way more flexible than we thought. Glitch in the Matrix. At a busy intersection in Russia, drivers were just hanging out, waiting for the green light when something weird happened. As soon as the light turned green, traffic started moving smoothly, but out of nowhere, 2 cars crashed into each other. One of the cars looked like it just popped up out of thin air. The bizarre footage went viral, and people couldn't stop talking about it. Some thought it was a glitch in the Matrix, suggesting there might be hidden government portals or something supernatural going on. Others speculated that maybe time itself flickered for a second, letting an extra car slip in. Either way, this strange incident makes you think about how thin the line is between what we see as reality and all the unknown stuff out there. Time to go back. At a busy airport, a 27-year-old guy from Germany was just hanging out with his bags when suddenly things got wild. Out of nowhere, he took off running like a maniac without his luggage, disappearing into the crowd as if he was on a mission. Witnesses said it looked like he was escaping from something that wasn't even there. Rumors started buzzing online, with some people guessing he might have seen something crazy, maybe even a sneak peek of a future disaster that forced him to hurry back to his own time. While some folks brushed it off as just being overly dramatic, the mystery of his quick exit kept people chatting and coming up with all sorts of theories about time and fate, keeping the intrigue alive. Time travel snack? On a chilly January night in 2016, something really weird happened outside a random store. A homeless guy was dozing off in front of the locked shop when a couple walked by, leaving quietly. Out of nowhere, a mysterious dude in a black hoodie showed up, walked right into the closed door and, poof, vanished inside. Then, just like that, as the camera and lights started flickering like crazy, he popped back out, holding a sandwich. This bizarre footage sent the internet into overdrive with wild theories. And a lot of folks started saying the hoodie guy was a time traveler out for a late-night snack. Even the homeless guy watching felt something strange in the air that night. Time-worn glare. In 2019, a viral moment at the United Nations captured teenage activist Greta Thunberg giving a piercing glare at President Trump. But soon, observers noted something even more surreal. Her expression bore an uncanny resemblance to a young girl, once seen working in a mine back in 1898. This eerie similarity sparked wild speculation online. Some insisted it was evidence that Greta might be a time traveler sent to alter history, while others chalked it up to a bizarre coincidence or misremembered features. Regardless of the explanation, the incident ignited debates over time's mysterious folds, and left many questioning if past and present might somehow be intertwined beyond pure reason. Vanishing act. At a busy airport in Denmark, what should have been a regular TV interview turned into a real mystery. While a guy was being interviewed live, viewers noticed something strange in the background. A blonde woman just standing there suddenly disappeared when someone walked past her. Some people thought it was just a camera glitch or she slipped into a blind spot, but a lot of others speculated that she might have stepped into another dimension. This weird vanishing act became the center of attention, sparking endless talks and debates about what really happened in those few seconds on camera. Paddled mystery. You know how sometimes things just don't add up? In this weird video, while someone was chatting with some musicians, a guy on a bike just popped up in the background out of nowhere. What's even creepier is that no one else around seemed to notice, like he just appeared out of thin air. The video blew up online, and people started debating what was going on. Some experts thought it might be a trick of perspective or some kind of editing. But honestly, there were still folks who weren't convinced, insisting the cyclist came from nowhere. It's one of those mysteries that just gets everyone wondering. What do you think? Guardian Flash. In 2012, at a busy crossing, an extraordinary incident unfolded. A truck barreled down the road toward an unsuspecting man, and just in the nick of time, something or someone appeared out of thin air, whisking the man to safety. Witnesses later recalled a brief flash in the rescuer's hand before he casually walked away, as if nothing happened. Both the man and the truck driver were left stunned by the sudden intervention, and authorities were baffled by the entire episode. Some say it was a real-life superhero moment, while others hint at a ghostly guardian saving the day. Road jump. A totally normal day turned wild when a CCTV clip caught a bizarre moment on a busy road. Out of nowhere, a person popped up on the other side of the street, like they'd just jumped from one dimension to another. 1 second, they were invisible, and the next, they were just standing there. The clear video sparked some serious chatter online, with some people claiming it was a glitch in the Matrix, while others thought it could be real teleportation. Of course, skeptics say it's just clever editing, but the mystery of that surprising road jump keeps people guessing everywhere. Hipster mystery.
Is the original? Is this the original?
Oh!
Imagine stumbling upon a vintage photo of a man who seems ripped right out of modern times. This is the tale of the time-traveling hipster, unearthed in a 1940s Canadian museum during the reopening of Southport Bridge in British Columbia. The snap shows a guy sporting trendy sunglasses and a relaxed vibe that starkly contrasts with the era's usual look. While some swear his modern style is proof of time travel, others argue his outfit simply echoes the laid-back flair of a bygone generation. Was he a slip through time, or just a sharp dresser with a timeless taste? The answer stays as elusive as the man himself, leaving us all to wonder.
Давай положим его сюда, подождите, это оригинальная фотография.
Victor Goddard. Get ready for a wild story that seems too strange to be true. Back in 1935, Victor Goddard was flying his plane from Edinburgh to Andover and decided to check out this old, abandoned World War I airstrip. Out of nowhere, a fierce storm hit, and he lost control of his aircraft. But once he got it back on track, he saw something mind-blowing. Below him, that deserted airstrip was now alive with action, and there were planes he had never seen before. It was like he had slipped into a future moment before some mysterious force pulled him back to his own time. While some people thought it was just a wild dream, the fact that the airstrip was renovated in 1939 to look just like what he saw adds a twist to the idea that sometimes the future can just drop into our present. Vanished genius. Ever heard of Titor Majorana? He was this super smart physicist who just vanished off the face of the Earth. Born in 1906, he did some seriously cool stuff with neutrinos and even came up with the idea of Majorana fermions. But in 1938, he suddenly disappeared, leaving behind a strange note that hinted he might have just left or gone missing for good. People have different theories about what happened to him. Some think he was really disappointed with how his research was being handled after World War II and maybe slipped away through time travel or alternate dimensions. Others believe he met a sad end. No one really knows what happened, which just adds to the mystery. It just goes to show that sometimes the brightest minds leave us with the biggest puzzles to figure out. Temporal glitch. Ever stumble upon something that just doesn't add up? In 1999, a video from a political rally left viewers scratching their heads when one person in the crowd was seen holding an object that looked exactly like an iPad. Now the kicker, iPads weren't even a thing until 2010. This oddity sparked intense chatter online, with some convinced it was proof of time travel or a glitch in our reality, while others chalked it up to optical trickery. Whatever the case, this bizarre snapshot challenges our understanding of time and technology, hinting that the past might be hiding secrets that defy all expectations. Lab coat. A crazy thing happened on a busy Russian highway that has people scratching their heads. A lorry swerved out of nowhere to avoid hitting a guy who looked totally out of place, dressed in a lab coat and black boots like he came from another time. The truck driver barely missed him and pulled over to check things out. Someone even caught the whole thing on video, and it went viral, leading to all sorts of wild theories online. Some folks thought maybe Russia was testing out some kind of futuristic teleportation, while others tossed around ideas about interdimensional travel. Either way, this strange encounter makes you wonder about reality and whether there are secret scientific breakthroughs going on. Ghostly shift. A wild video shows a woman strolling down a quiet street, looking totally relaxed. Out of nowhere, she stops and reaches out like she's grabbing something invisible. Then, in a flash, a little girl pops up next to her, totally shocking everyone watching. What's even weirder? The woman doesn't bat an eye, acting like this is just another ordinary day for her. Social media went crazy with theories. Some think she somehow summoned the girl, while others are wondering if it was some kind of supernatural teleportation. This strange moment really makes you think, was it just a camera trick, or is there something way creepier going on? Time mystery. Recently, archaeologists discovered something incredibly strange in a sealed tomb from the Ming Dynasty that left experts puzzled. Inside, they found a contemporary Swiss wristwatch in a tomb that's over 400 years old. Yes, you heard me correctly, Swiss, even though Switzerland as a nation wouldn't emerge for quite some time. Theories ran rampant, ranging from time travel to elaborate hoaxes. Some skeptics suggested it might have been abandoned by grave robbers, while others are convinced it could be a watch belonging to a time traveler. Regardless of the theory, no one can clarify how this watch ended up in that location. It makes you think, do we truly understand time as well as we believe we do? Time has a peculiar way of confounding us. Scooter slip. At first glance, everything seemed pretty normal. A lady was unloading her luggage from a car trunk when suddenly things took a wild turn. As she bent down, a guy on a scooter zoomed by in a flash, leaving behind a strange white streak before disappearing completely. The clip blew up online, with people speculating about a glitch in the Matrix, or maybe even a time traveler making a getaway. On the other hand, skeptics said it was just a camera glitch or some clever editing. This quick moment has got people wondering, was it a real break in reality, or just a funky optical illusion? The debate keeps getting hotter online. Retro divas. If you're skeptical about time travel, this might make you rethink. In an old reel from 1938, a pretty normal scene took a strange turn when two ladies caught everyone's eye. One of them looked like she was chatting away on something that totally resembled a mobile phone, a device that didn't even exist back then. This odd moment triggered all sorts of wild theories among viewers. Some thought these women might be accidental time travelers, while others claimed the object was just a weird prop or some sort of misunderstood piece of fabric. No solid explanation has come up yet, leaving everyone to wonder whether this was just a funky glitch in time or a real peek into a future that was never meant to be. Punch paradox.
We did some digging and found out the device in the video is not a smartphone at all. It's an early version of a camcorder.
At a 1995 Tyson fight, a curious spectator sparked a frenzy when he appeared to be holding a smartphone. Smartphones simply did not exist back then, and his gadget immediately ignited wild theories online. Some claimed he was a time traveler, a devoted fan returning from the future to witness the legendary bout firsthand. However, skeptics argued it was nothing more than a case of mistaken identity, insisting the device was merely an early camcorder misinterpreted as modern tech. Even so, this odd moment reminds us that sometimes reality seems to warp in unexpected ways, leaving us to wonder if the past and future might occasionally cross paths ever mysterious.
Think up an idea like, well, they must have gone back in time with a smartphone, as opposed to saying, I wonder what camcorders looked like in 1995.
Temporal enigma. Back in the early 2000s, chatter spread about a mysterious figure online, a man named John Titor who claimed he was a time traveler from 2036. He casually mentioned being part of a secret military unit known as the Time Travel Division, armed with a C-204 time displacement unit capable of warping time itself. Titor dropped wild hints about events like the end of the space shuttle program and the rise of mad cow disease. Some of his predictions even echoed in reality, while others fizzled out. Then, in 2001, he vanished without a trace, leaving everyone scratching their heads. Was he a clever illusionist, or did he really tweak history? The mystery lingers. Open discussion.
the United States President, Donald Trump, will lose the election.
And you better hold on to your hats, because this one's a wild ride. Recently, a guy named Victor Nicol dropped a video online claiming he's from the year 2133. He's got some crazy news. Time travel was supposedly invented by 2050, and he's here to set things straight. Sounds a bit off, right? According to Victor, the future isn't all about flying cars and cool moon bases. Instead, we're dealing with some serious issues like plastic storms and a world where people are controlled before they even do anything. Oh, and he mentions Donald Trump's bizarre attempt to become Canada's Prime Minister. So was this dude for real, or just pulling a fast one? What do you think? Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.